Historical stats allow you to filter weekly fantasy scoring and statistics for each position dating back to 1996. To access historical stats from the Footballguys.com homepage, mouse over Stats, then click Historical Stats. By default, the archive filters are set to view season-to-date statistics for quarterbacks with fantasy points based on standard Footballguys scoring system. For DFS, you're able to change the scoring format to either FanDuel or DraftKings by changing your selection in the drop-down list and selecting View Stats. Let's say I wanted to take a look at running back scoring on FanDuel over the last 4 weeks. I would change the position filter to running back, keep the year at 2016, set the weeks filters to look at only the last 4 weeks, and click View Stats. The results will be listed from high to low and include games played to account for bye weeks and injuries. Obviously, you can change the filters to view fantasy scoring and statistics for any position and time period within a season. In the accompanying article, I had mentioned the running back data can be brought into Microsoft Excel or any spreadsheet program to build a workload and efficiency report. To do that, I'll use season-to-date statistics, so I'll show all running backs from week 1 to the current week, and then I'm going to select the whole table, copy it, and paste it into Excel. For the purpose of this chart, I don't need the columns for rank, age, and experience, so I'll delete those. And then I want to separate the players' teams into a separate column from their name, which Excel makes very easy. First, I'm going to insert 2 blank columns next to my name column. Then, I'll highlight the cells with the data I want to separate. Click on the Data tab and select Text to Columns. In the Text to Columns wizard, select Delimited, click Next, and then you're going to choose Spaces as your delimiter since there's a space between the player's name and team. Click Next, and then Finish. So you can see it separated the player's first name, last name, and team into columns. I want to get their names back in the same column, so I'm going to insert a new column, type the first player's name, and touch the Enter key. When I begin typing the second player's name, Excel understands what I'm trying to do and previews the rest of the column. Touch Enter again to populate the whole column. Then we can delete the 2 columns we no longer need and label our columns. Calculating total touches for running backs is now really simple. We just need to insert a column and input a formula into the first cell that adds rushes and receptions together. So I'll input equals D2 for rushes plus H2 for receptions. Then I could double click in the bottom right hand corner of the cell to copy my formula into the other cells in the column. Now that we have each running back's team and total touches in separate columns, we can use a SUMIF formula to figure out what % of his team's total touches each back has received. First, I'll label my column. Then I'll start my formula by typing equals and typing in the first cell that contains touches, which is K2. Now I want to divide those touches by the team total, so I'll type /, which is the divide symbol. And because total touches for each team doesn't appear anywhere on this spreadsheet, I need to divide by a range based on multiple criteria. That means I've got to type SUMIF, then I'm going to put parentheses, and Excel is going to help with my formula. First, I pick my range, which is column B that has all the team names in it. Next, I have to input my criteria, which is team, so I'll click the first cell in the team column. Next is the sum range, which is touches, so I'll click column K. Then I end my formula with parentheses. Press Enter, and I've got my value. To change it to a percentage, I just click the % button. So we've told Excel to add up all the touches for each player in column K according to their team listed in column B, and then divide each player's touches by the team total to figure out what percentage of the team touches each player got. I'll just carry the formula down, and now we can see each running back's true workload. Efficiency stats are much easier to calculate. For example, if I want to see fantasy points per touch for each running back, I would just label a new column, type equals into the first empty cell, and then find fantasy points, which are in column L. So I'll take the value in L2 and divide it by touches in K2. You can use the same procedure to create columns for yards per touch and touchdowns per touch, which are other useful efficiency metrics for running backs.